What's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to the conversation. So today we're going to be talking about, is Anthony Davis being overshadowed in LA? That's what I want to talk about in this video today. Now, all of you guys know the big hoopla that was made in the offseason when the Lakers were able to acquire Anthony Davis. We all know this, but this dates back to a year plus. Last season, when LeBron James had first joined the Los Angeles Lakers, he was there, and it was, LeBron James in Tinseltown. He's going to be playing with the Lakers, the biggest sports brand, at least in basketball, in the United States and probably in the world. So there was all of this. They now finally have a marquee player. And there was so many hopes for the Los Angeles Lakers. The only problem was when LeBron came to the Los Angeles Lakers, they had some internal issues, and some of it had to do with their roster. Now, they had players like Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and others that were really young and inexperienced, and they hadn't really turned into to what people would at least know what they are on the court. Lonzo Ball, I think it was his second year. And then they had some issues with their management. For instance, they had Luke Walton as a coach who was really inexperienced as a coach leading his own team. Now, he had some success under the tutelage of Steve Kerr with the Golden State Warriors, where he had coached the team when Steve Kerr had to step down for a little bit. And he had success doing that, but he had never been the main coach running his own team, where he was hiring his own staff, assistant coaches, implementing his own philosophies and all these different things. That was a completely different ball game for him there. Then you had struggles in upper management with Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss and all these different things that was happening. And in the midst of all of that, last season, the Lakers tried to acquire Anthony Davis from the New Orleans Pelicans in sort of like a forced trade. And it didn't end up going down. And what ended up happening was it ended up rupturing the entire, inner chemistry of the team, because now the teammates, the younger players, knew that LeBron James didn't want them there, because LeBron is infamous for wanting to play with seasoned veterans. So he didn't want them to be there, and this rubbed a lot of players the wrong way. Ultimately, LeBron ended up getting injured. They ended up not acquiring Anthony Davis by the trade deadline, and that season just sort of seemed like it went to the dogs. It just, it was a no-show. Lakers ended up not making the playoffs, so that's what happened with that season. This season, though, the Lakers were able to acquire Anthony Davis, get rid of their younger assets, ship them off to New Orleans Pelicans, and there was just this big thing of now the team, the league is now made up of young, dynamic duos. It's a dynamic duo league. It's no longer a super team league, that was really spearheaded by the Golden State Warriors, with Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, and then ultimately they got DeMarcus Cousins. And that didn't work out. But needless to say, that was where we were all trending. That was the way that the league was trending up until the Lakers were able to acquire Anthony Davis. And then, of course, Kevin Durant ended up going to the Nets, which also got Kyrie Irving. Kawhi Leonard ended up going to the Clippers with Paul George. So all these things were happening. And there was all this new excitement. And people like Stephen A. Smith were really, bloviating about how great he thinks Anthony Davis was. He went as far as to say that Anthony Davis is a better player than Kawhi Leonard, which I completely think is a bag of crock, but that's what he believes. And maybe some people like Shannon Sharpe and others believe that the Lakers, in fact, did have the best dynamic duo in the entire NBA. And, it's easy to see why, because prior to him playing for Anthony Davis playing for the Lakers the season before with the Pelicans, he averaged just 2 seasons. In 2017, 2018, he averaged 28 points a game. He shot 53% from 53% from the field. He shot 34% from the 3-point line. He averaged 11 rebounds and 2 assists a game, and he was also giving you a block and 2.6. No, he was getting you a block a game and a steal a game and 2.6 blocks. The following season, he put up similar numbers. And this season, now that Anthony Davis is a Laker and he's everything that comes with the Lakers, now they have a marquee big man. And he's going to be following the steps of people like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Will, Shaq, Pau Gasol. Now you have Anthony Davis, and they're talking about he's a once-in-a-lifetime generational player. Going into the preseason, after they acquired him, and LeBron James was really vocal about how he was going to hand over the reins to Anthony Davis, that he was a younger player. It doesn't make any sense for them to go and acquire such a talented basketball player, and then for LeBron still to be the focal point of the offense and doing all these different things. So LeBron definitely conceded that he wanted to take a step back. But here's something interesting that's happened since AD has come to the Lakers. As AD has been acquired by the Los Angeles Lakers and he's playing with them, I'm sure all of you have noticed that LeBron is still being able to suck up all of the oxygen in the room because he's so much of a big star, and in some ways he's kind of polarizing for some people. So he grabs all of the media attention. Everything that he does, the media just sort of gobbles it up and talks about it and becomes, hot fodder, and everyone seems to be clamoring to hear what LeBron James is saying. And in the midst of all of that, we've sort of lost sight of we don't really talk much about Anthony Davis. He's sort of starting to become another cog in the wheel. Now, this season, he's averaging 26.5 points a game. He's shooting 48% from the field, so his field goal percentage went down a little bit. 3-point percentage went down a little bit. Now he's getting you 10 rebounds a game, and he's getting you 3.3 assists a game, and he's getting you 3 blocks a game, and I believe he's getting you a steal. Now, going into this season, Anthony Davis said he wanted to be the Defensive Player of the Year. That's his main goal. But I think that moving forward, knowing that Anthony Davis, the Lakers are trying to keep him long term, and they want him to be the face of their franchise moving forward into the future, I think they need to find a way to make him part of the narrative a little bit more. I think they need to talk about him more. They need to promote him more because, again, he's going to be the face of the Lakers if they want him to sign on. Now, recently he gave some comments, I think, in a press conference in Chicago, where I think he's from, and they asked him, is there a chance that you would ever come back to play in your hometown? And he said, yeah, sure, there's a possibility. Why not? Yeah, there may be a possibility. Now, a lot of people in the media scoff that off and say, why the hell would you leave LA to go play in Chicago? You're playing with the greatest franchise in the history of basketball, all of these different things. But other players have left LA before. And at one point, Kobe Bryant was even considering to leave Los Angeles to go play for the Chicago Bulls. Kobe, the 20-year Laker, was also contemplating leaving the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I'm not saying that, Anthony Davis is going to leave the Los Angeles Lakers. What I'm saying is that I think he's starting to get lost in the mix. And I think they need to find a way to bring him in. Now, obviously, it's still early in the season, but I know what's going to happen. We all know what's going to happen. Even when the Lakers do make it to the playoffs, they are the #1 seed in the NBA and in the Western Conference. Even if they do make it to the playoffs and they do have success, I still believe that there's a high chance that Anthony Davis will not get all of the credit. I think a lot of the credit, the lion's share of the credit, is going to go to LeBron James. Now, maybe he's cool with that, but it's just an observation that I've been making throughout the season. So what I want to know from you guys is, have you noticed that Anthony Davis has kind of been overshadowed, that we're not really talking about him as much as we were when the Lakers were trying to acquire him, and now he's just sort of become one of the band members and LeBron is the lead star? Or do you think that I'm overreacting, and you think later on in the season, Anthony Davis is going to take the spotlight and be out in front center, and he's going to be the one that's going to be really leading the Lakers, especially into the playoffs. And if they do have any championship aspirations, he's going to be the reason that they do so. So that's what I want to know from you guys. If you have any comments and thoughts about this subject, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. I really want to know what you guys think. Again, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel just to get some of our new and hottest content as it comes out. Once again, this is Charles here from DreamersPro, wishing you guys an amazing day. Peace!